Social Security owning all these different properties. They own where the civil registry is now. That's where the Treasury used to be. They own where the pepper pot used to be, Swallow's pepper pot. They own where the Ministry of Finance used to be on High Street, as well as a few other properties that are owned. So the issue now is, how do you fix it with these real estate properties that you have? What should be done? To me, one of the first things that they should do is to come out of rented premises. The building that is owned by Social Security on Long Street, that building is in a state of disrepair, and it doesn't appear as though there's any plan to repair that building. And yet, they're spending approximately $750,000 a year renting premises. So the whole thing appears to be lacking any leadership, lacking any direction. You're paying $750,000 in rent. You have properties all over St. John's, very few of which, if any, are bringing in any serious rental income. So you're not really making any money from that. The government gave the Social Security the Panam base that is now disused. That's not earning any money. They have the prisoner from England. He's staying there. They have it using for a few other purposes like housing prisoners and so on. Those are not earning any income. So there is no clear plan as to how they're going to turn some of these real estate assets into cash. And that's what Social Security needs. Social Security needs cash. And any board or any government, because at the end of the day, the responsibility lies with the government, because under Section 15 of the Social Security Act, what it says is that if there is any temporary insufficiency in the assets of the fund to meet the liabilities of the fund, such funds shall be advanced out of the consolidated fund. That means the Treasury has to pick up the slack. And that's what needs to be done. So the government has a legal obligation. It's not just a case where they have a moral obligation. They have a legal obligation to meet the shortfall in funds at the Social Security Fund. And so they can't dodge it, they can't jump around. The monies are due to the people who are entitled, and it is not good enough for the government simply to say they don't have the money. Because if they don't have the money, they have an obligation to find the money. They have assets. They're not doing anything to show that they are serious about turning these assets into money-making enterprises. They're paying $750,000 in rent. Meanwhile, the headquarters is in a dilapidated state, cannot be used. Somehow, nothing is adding up. Meanwhile, you don't have enough money to meet your basic obligations to the pensioners. And so they're now 2 months late, which is unprecedented in the history of Antigua and Barbuda.